back to my channel. I'm very excited for today's video. It is going to be the sixth update in the Deck of Panning Project Pan, which was a project created by one of my YouTube besties, Emily from Emily and Max. So I'll have her channel linked down below, as well as all the other information pertaining to this project. It is a game style project, and it has to do with a deck of cards, random prompt based style project. We work on 5 products at any given time, and I do have 2 products that will be rolling out today, which I'm very excited about. So if you're interested, stay tuned. First, if you haven't yet to subscribe to my channel and you like project panning content, palette themed content, or just chit-chatting about makeup, that is what we do over on this channel, and I hope you'll consider subscribing before moving on. Also, don't forget to like this video and leave a comment down below, or do anything else the YouTube algorithm loves for you to do. I would really appreciate it. And without further ado, let's jump into the video. Okay, I tried for the first time to like slick my hair back, and I have a braid, but I feel like it's just not working in the way that I wanted. And I want to like scoot forward, but I also wanted my shell necklace to be showing off. Things just aren't working how we want them today. I'm gonna zoom you guys in though. Okay, we're just gonna roll with the punches here. I don't have my computer in front of me, but I'm gonna do my best. I'll post the prompts on the screen that I rolled these products in for. Let's start with, let's see, I know this one, these 2 rolled in last update. I'm gonna guess this one's been in the longest. This is my Adept Plain Jane Remastered palette. I believe I rolled this in for the prompt No Pan Left Behind, either that or Indie, but I believe it was No Pan Left Behind. And it's been in for several months. To date, I have now reached for it 6 times. I believe I was at 5 uses, either 5 or 4 last update. It looks like I was at 5 last update. So I've reached for it 1 time since, and that time was actually today. And I now only have 3 shades left to reach for in this palette before I can roll it out. The shades that I have yet to reach for are this shade right here, and then these 2 shades here on the bottom. So basically 1 purple look left. I thought about doing a purple look today, and then I really just was not feeling it. So actually today I just did mattes, obviously, to build up like a base, and then I went in with this shade right here, which looks purple, but it also has like a green flip to it. I actually really like this shade. I was really impressed by this shade. I put that all over the lid, and then I went over top with this green shade right here, and then on the inner like little third here I went in with this shade down here. On the lower lash line I have this shade, and then on the inner corner I have this shade right here. So I used a lot of looks. So I used a lot of shadows in today's look. I have a couple of shadows in here that I've reached for more than once. And actually today I whipped this out, and I was just not feeling inspired by the purples. And I was like, is this a palette that I'm like ready to declutter? But then I swatched actually these 3 shades on the bottom, and then this shade up here. And all 4 of these, I was like, no, I love these. And I know with this one, you can pop these out, like they're magnetic, so you can pop them out. I feel like if I did that, I'd get less use out of it. And then when I used this shade all over the lid today, I was actually very impressed with that. So I don't think this one is gonna get decluttered. It is, however, not ready to roll out of this project. I am hopeful by the next update, this will be a rollout. Even if we get to filming day for the next update, I could just easily create a look with this palette. So this should absolutely be a rollout by next update. All right, then I have my NARS cream bronzer, which I don't know if I rolled this in for summer or cream product. I honestly don't remember. So again, I'll post it on the screen. And I gave myself a 10 use goal with this. I had reached for this 1 out of those 10 times last update. I did reach for this an additional 2 times. I am really struggling to get myself to reach for this. And I think the reason being is it is a little bit more pigmented, and so for day to day, like in my overnight bag, I just have an easier product to work with on the go. And then on days that I am filming like today, I just don't necessarily reach for cream products all that much. Sometimes I do. I actually do have the KVD like duo, not KVD, the Gwen Stefani Give Beauty like bronzing duo. I used both the powder and the cream today. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is I have been struggling to get myself to reach for this. I'm only at 3 out of 10 uses. I would love to reach for this 7 times by the next update and have this as a rollout. It is more pigmented, it is a little bit deeper as well. So it's definitely something that works best for me when I do have a tan or in the summer. So I really would love to push myself to actually get this as a rollout. So I need to be a little bit more focused on this. we'll see what happens. This product rolled in last update. I can't remember at all what this rolled in for, but it is a little Rare Beauty liquid lipstick in the shade Fearless. I actually did take the stopper out of this, and I reached for this a couple times. It's been a while since I've reached for this though. I thought about topping my lips today with this product, and maybe I will. I am planning to film a couple of videos today, so I might in another video, but I was like, it might actually not end up looking exactly how I want with the eye look. I feel like with a little bit of effort, I could actually have this as a rollout next update, just because I don't feel like there's a ton of product left in here. Like if I were to focus on wearing this to work, I feel like I could have this as a rollout next update. Maybe 2 updates, but if it is next update, we are looking pretty for next update, because hopefully I would have 3 rollouts potentially. We'll see though. We'll see. We'll just see. And that brings me to the 2 products that will be rolling out. So first up, I have the Tower 28 concealer, which I rolled in, I believe for the prompt, a concealer. And I ended up, this was in, I think, 2 or 3 updates. Like this is like the 3rd update I believe that this has been in. I took the stopper out, I think 2 updates ago or 1 update ago, and I have since got as much like scraped off the sides as I can. As you can see, I've used as much as I can of this. I ended up actually mixing this with a couple of foundations that were a little bit too light for me. I would just mix a little bit on the back of my hand to lighten it up. I will say, typically those days, I wasn't like a huge fan of my makeup. Like it's a little extra step that I don't necessarily love, and I don't feel like this is like my favorite formula. It is more of like a serum-like formula. I definitely prefer the NYX concealer, the NYX Bear With Me. I feel like it offers more coverage, and it's a little bit thicker. This one is definitely more thin, but I find that this one creases just a little bit more, and this is not something that I will be repurchasing. This is one of those products that I feel like I liked more when I wasn't using it consistently day to day, and then when I was using it every day, I was like, I actually don't think that this is my favorite concealer of all time. So I'm excited to have a concealer empty for my end of year empties, and I'm also very excited to move this out of my collection. It is not something that I will be repurchasing. And honestly, I can't think of like a concealer that I'm itching to buy. So fingers crossed, hopefully it can just be a situation where my concealer inventory drops by 1. And then finally, the other rollout is my NARS Summer Solstice eyeshadow palette, which I can't remember the prompt. Again, it may have been a seasonal. I really don't remember. I'll just post it on the screen. But I gave myself the goal to No Pan Left Behind this palette, and I have completed this No Pan Left Behind. In fact, I had completed it, and there was one more look that I was really wanting to do with this palette. So I just did that look, and we went above and beyond. Since starting to track, I've reached for this palette 3 total times, and I can kind of show you, actually maybe I'll post on the screen a picture of shade for shade how many times I've used each of the shadows. I absolutely love this palette so much. My favorite look is using obviously the 2 mattes here, going in with this shade on the outer corner, and then going in with a mixture of these 2. It's so pretty. The lid topper shades in here are just so ethereal and beautiful on the eyes. I absolutely love this palette. That's not a surprise. This is the palette, my first NARS palette, and it really kicked off like my love of NARS. I will say, I wish NARS would do more palettes. Like I feel like a lot of their palettes lately have been more rosy toned leaning. I wish they would do like a brown palette as opposed to the rosy tones, because I don't need the rosy tones. I really like what's happening in here. So we'll see if NARS releases anything more brown leaning towards the end of the year, but this is a completed No Pan Left Behind palette. It will be rolling out. I wouldn't be surprised if I reach this a couple more times before the end of the year though, because I do just truly love and adore this palette. That being said, we do have 2 products that will be rolling out, so we get to roll in 2 new products. So I'm gonna whip out my deck of cards here. We will shuffle the cards, and then we will see what new prompts we are gonna get. How many shuffles? 4 is my favorite number. I was gonna say, should we do 3, but 4 is my favorite number, so I feel like we're just gonna go for a total of 4 quick shuffles. If you guys don't know, the main thing with, not main thing with this project, but there is, I actually have both jokers in my deck, but if you get the joker card, you have to work on something that you really don't want to pan. That's like the I don't know what the catch of this project, but anyway, let's see what 2 cards we're gonna get. So we get the 2 of spades and the 3 of diamonds. So I'm gonna grab my phone so I can pull up the game board, and then I will pop the new game board on the screen. This is something that changes every single month. Face cards don't change, but the other prompts do change. Emily changes up the game board every single month, so thank you, Emily, for doing that. All right, pulling up the game board. I want to make sure I'm on the correct year. Yes, okay. Okay, so the first card was the 2 of spades, and the 2 of spades is copycat, which I believe means I need to pan something that someone else is panning. I believe. I'm gonna double check that really quick. A product you've seen someone else panning. Okay. Ooh, I'm gonna have to think about that. And then the 3 of diamonds is, ooh, easy peasy lemon squeezy, which I believe is an easy one, which is so exciting. Let me just double check. Yes, a gimme product, something easy to pan or meet a goal on, something you have no trouble reaching for often. Okay, fun prompt. I am going to possibly go like peruse some people's project pans and see what I want to focus on, and then I gotta pick an easy prompt. I'll be back, you guys. I will be back. Okay, I'm back. That took me a little bit longer than it normally does, but let's jump into my selections. So for the 2 of spades, which was a copycat product, I have decided that I am going to copy Sarah Rose. And she has already completed this product. She worked on it in her, I believe it was 7 by Spring project, and it is the Lawless Forget the Filler lip gloss, sorry, in the shade Juicy Watermelon. I actually was just thinking I wanted to pull this out and try and finish it for the summer. So I feel like this works perfectly. I feel like this should be something that I really shouldn't have a ton of issues finishing. I don't know if you can see how much windowing there already is with the Lawless Forget the Fillers. You don't get a ton of product in a Lawless Forget the Filler lip gloss. My only complaint about it, it is a favorite formula, as you guys know, but I feel like you can fly through these really quickly. So I think I will either have this finished by the next update or the one after that. Juicy Watermelon is one of my favorite shades. It is this really beautiful kind of sheer pink, and I actually have been more into pink lips lately, playing around with pink lips. This is a shade I absolutely would buy again. I know for a moment there, it definitely was limited edition. I don't know if it is still that, because I believe I have repurchased this shade. I believe this is my 2nd tube in the shade Juicy Watermelon that I'm going through. So once I finish this, if I can still buy it again next spring summer, I would. It is definitely a spring summer like shade of lip gloss for me though. So I'm rolling this in, and then for the 3 of diamonds, which is easy peasy lemon squeezy, I'm actually gonna go with a non-makeup product, and I'm gonna be rolling in from Kayalie the Maldives in a bottle fragrance. So I love this. I purchased this maybe, I don't know if it was May or June. I can't exactly remember. I bought this and the Maui in a bottle, which has the banana note, which I love. I have used quite a bit of this. I'm a little over halfway through, and this is definitely a summertime fragrance to me, or perhaps like a travel fragrance. It reads very tropical, or it smells very tropical, and I want to finish this off. I don't want to end the summer with this lingering, because I am trying to downsize a little bit. And so if there's things like this that I feel like I could finish before the season's over, I would like to finish it just so I have less stuff in my collection, and then I can get through more things. And this is something that I would buy again next summer in this size. I do want to buy Maui in a bottle in the full size. I absolutely love banana scented things, so I really enjoy that one, and that's something I would buy in a full size. But I want to give myself an excuse to actually finish this up. Otherwise I could see myself, as I get like even closer to the bottom, just stopping using it, because then it would mean like it's done, it's over, I'm done with it. But I actually want to give myself the excuse to finish this up. It's gonna be okay. We can buy it again next summer if we want to. It's a beautiful fragrance. It pairs really beautifully with other summer scents that I really love, like the vacation scent. So my goal with this is gonna be to finish this up, and I do believe I could do this by the next update. So to be honest, with some effort, I could have a full refresh next update and have 5 rollouts and 5 new roll-ins. We will see. I don't really have confidence in myself, just because sometimes I'm not the best panner, but with a little bit of effort, that really could be the reality for next update. But that is going to wrap it up for today's update. Those are my roll-ins, rolls out, my progress. I would love to know if you are doing a project right now, or just let me know what product you've recently panned or finished up, emptied out, decluttered. Let a girl know in the comments below. Other than that, thank you so much for sticking around to watch today's video and for supporting me and my channel as you guys always do. I love you guys so much, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye.